Right about there. Raise your right hand for us, please. Thank you. You solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause and nothing of this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. Please take a seat with the witness. Stand right over there. And please adjust the microphone and tell us your first name. Tell us your name, then spell it for the record.
Terrell Ephraim, TERELLEPHROM.
Try to speak into the microphone. All right, Mr. Brzloman, the floor is yours.
Morning, or good afternoon. Do you know the man seated at the table in the tan jacket?
Yes.
What's his name?
Rocky. Rakim Mayor.
And do you know him by any other nicknames?
He's up Rocky. Blocko.
How did you first meet him?
In high school, we grew up together.
How old were you think you first met him?
Probably like 17, 18.
When you first met him, was he a well-known famous rapper?
No.
I want to jump ahead to November 6th, 2021, the date of this incident. Do you remember approximately, or do you remember how old you were that day? How old were you on the day that this happened? Do you remember?
Probably 33, 32.
Okay. Would it be fair to say you knew him about maybe 15 years at that point?
Yes.
Over the 15 years that you knew him, were the two of you friends?
Yeah.
Can you describe the closeness of your relationship to him?
About whole 15 years.
Yeah, over the course of your relationship, sort of how it started and then how close you were throughout the 15 years.
Well, I mean, we started a collective ASAP, which is a bunch of, how would you call it, like a bunch of people from New York that got different downers.
It's okay. Just take a minute, take a couple deep breaths. The relationship that you're describing in high school, were the two of you close friends? Like, would you see him every day, or was this sort of a friendship where you knew of him but didn't really know him?
No, we knew each other. We knew each other. We knew each other very well. I mean, it was probably like 6 or 7 of us. Probably like 4 of them was rappers.
Do you think you'd see him every day?
Up until he got famous, yeah.
Okay.
Like a little bit until he got famous.
How long do you think you knew him before? I know it's hard to peg down exactly when someone becomes famous, but about how long do you think you knew him before he became famous?
7 years.
And over that 7 years, it was a regular occurrence that you would be with him almost every day, correct?
Yeah.
Would you describe him at that time, the beginning of your relationship, as someone that was like a brother to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you started to tell us about ASAP. What does ASAP stand for?
It means a lot of different things, but always strive and prosper.
Were you ASAP?
Yes.
Within ASAP, did you have a nickname that you went by?
Yeah, really. ASAP really.
Was that something that started when you were in high school?
Yeah.
What year of high school do you remember? Like, were you a junior, a senior?
Probably was like a senior.
Did you know someone by the name of Elijah Elanger?
Yes.
Was he also a member of ASAP?
Yes.
Did he have a nickname that he went by in ASAP?
ASAP Bills.
I'm gonna ask more at my next exhibit.
10.
10? Do you recognize the person depicted here in People's 10?
Yeah.
And who is that?
Elijah.
Okay. Is it easier for you to refer to him as Elijah, Bills? How do you want to refer to him?
Bills.
Bills? Okay. Was he one of the kind of original members of ASAP?
Yeah.
How would you describe for the jury your relationship or your closeness with Elijah or Hills?
I mean, it was pretty good up until the incident.
Would you, up until the incident, would you have considered him a close friend of yours?
Yeah.
Was he someone that you would talk to on a regular basis?
Yeah, I talked to him the night before the incident. I was at his house actually.
Okay. Would it be fair to say, kind of up until the day of that incident, you've known him maybe approximately 15 years too?
Yeah, just a,
Do you know someone by the name of Jamel Phillips?
yeah,
And is he also a member of ASAP?
yeah.
What, if any, nicknames does he go by?
ASAP Bills.
My next exhibit.
Is anybody having trouble here? Everybody's okay? If you're having some trouble?
Yeah.
Mr. Efron, could you try to speak up a little bit, please?
I'm in our People's 11 year.
Yes. What is it?
It's a one-page document, a single photograph, depicting two people. Mr. Efron, showing you the person on the left in this photograph. Do you recognize who that is?
Yeah.
Who's that?
July 12 weeks.
And kind of like the same question with Hills, what's the easiest way for you to refer to him?
I was never really that cool with him.
No, I mean, as we're talking about the different people involved in this, how do you want me to refer to him? Do you want me to call him 12? Do you want me to call him
Yeah.
Janelle?
12 weeks.
Okay, 12. And the person who's next to him in this photograph, do you recognize that person?
Yeah, that's Rocky.
All right. You said regarding 12B that you were not as close to him, correct?
Is that yes?
Yes.
How would you, put it in your own words, how would you describe your relationship with 12B prior to the incident?
I mean, there was never no problems, but I never wasn't that cool with him. Like, we really didn't interact that much.
Would you,
He wasn't like a, he came kind of like later, so like, I really wasn't like chilling with him or chilling with anybody who came after the fact. It was ASAP.
Okay. So what you're describing is kind of you and the defendant and Hills had known each other longer, and then 12B came after that core group was formed.
Yeah, so me, Jabari, Bills, and Rocky pretty much started ASAP.
Okay.
And anybody else who came after, if they wasn't like genuinely like trying to better themselves or do something other than like fooling around, kind of distance myself.
Okay. Is that you mentioned the name Jabari? Who's Jabari?
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
What's his name?
Jabari. That's the name. ASAP Bari.
Okay. he have any other nicknames that you like?
Youngwood.
Would he also have been considered part of the ASAP collective that you described?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Within that collective of members of ASAP, were all the people that were members, were they all rappers?
No.
What were some of the other pursuits that members of ASAP would also pursue?
Fashion, producing, anything involved with like culture, really.
What, were you a rapper?
No,
What was your contribution to the group?
I was a manager. Not of ASAP, but I created my own company.
What was the name of your company?
Shut up.
And when you say you were a manager, what does that mean?
I was scout for talent, like I had producers, I had artists. I helped actual ASAP members with stuff.
So the managing that you're talking about is all related to the music industry.
Yes.
And you're saying you would try to find people who are talented at different areas within music, like rapping or producing, correct?
Yeah.
And would you try to help get them projects?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. The person that you refer to as Jabari, did you also refer to him as Bari?
Yeah, Barry.
So if we say Jabari or Bari, we're talking about the same person?
Yes.
That person, Jabari, how close were you to him?
I would say you go to.
Was he someone that you would see on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Did you have problems in the time that you knew him with him specifically? Is that no?
No.
Okay. Were you with Jabari the day before this incident on November 5th of 2021?
Yes, I was.
That day, November 5th, where in the country were you with Jabari?
We actually missed a flight. We were supposed to go to Chicago, but we was in LA.
Okay. So the whole time you're with him, you're in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you live in Los Angeles at the time?
No.
What state did you live in November of 2021?
New York.
How long have you been in Los Angeles on November 5th, 2021? So if you can tell us the exact day that you flew in, that's fine, or if you can just give us an estimate of how many days you've been in Los Angeles.
Probably flew in, I think the 5th,
So that day.
or the 4th, I don't know. Like, my artist was in town, so he was recording. So I don't know, it was a while ago. I'll have to look at text messages or something like that.
Okay. Would that refresh your recollection?
Yeah.
Okay. May I approach him? Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have to. Yeah, I apologize. You told us that. Refresh your recollection.
Yeah.
Okay. So what days were you specifically in Los Angeles with your artist while he was recording?
Let me see how I get my data.
What did you?
I was doing it, I didn't look at it.
Hold on. What did you attempt to refresh his recollection?
A text message.
Is it a screenshot?
Yes. I wasn't gonna mark it as an exhibit.
You don't have to. It's just used to refresh his recollection. It doesn't have to be an exhibit.
Let me see the date. I was just reading.
Yeah, take your time.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so what days were you in Los Angeles with your artist?
Probably got here the 3rd day.
Okay.
Probably flew in the 3rd. Because I got on the Airbnb. That's pretty close to my hotel.
Okay, Troy, you gotta keep your voice. Try to, your voice is soft, so try to speak into it.
So what I think you're saying is you arrived in Los Angeles, to the best of your recollection, November 3rd of 2021, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your artist, the artist that you were managing was recording music the 4th, 5th, and 6th, correct?
I believe so, yes.
How did you get to Los Angeles on the 3rd?
What do you mean?
Meaning you're from New York, how did you get here?
Oh, flew.
when you say you flew, did you fly on a private plane or on a commercial jet?
On a Delta commercial.
Did you have to go through airport security?
Yeah.
Okay, you said you met up with Jabari on November 5th in Los Angeles, correct?
Yeah.
Do you recall where you met him?
When I first met Jabari,
Yeah. Well, I
when I
mean,
first met him,
that day, November 5th, where did you meet him?
in his apartment, in his house.
And is that in Los Angeles?
Is that yes?
Yes.
While you were with Jabari that day, did you overhear a conversation between Jabari and the defendant, Mr. Mayers?
Yeah, we was on our way back from the airport, and he got a call from Rocky.
So the defendant called Jabari?
Yeah.
And can you describe for the jury how it was that you were able to hear the defendant on that call?
We was in the back of the SUV, and he got a call from Rocky. He put the phone on his stomach. So he was laying back in the truck, and he put his phone on his stomach. He just was like listening, like talking to him.
Was the
I'm
phone
on
on,
the chair.
was the phone on speaker?
Yeah.
So you could hear both sides of the conversation?
Yeah.
What was the nature of the call between Jabari and the defendant?
It started off first, I believe, like Rocky was trying to get Barbara to come to this complex con, Kenya University thing, and Jabari declined, and the conversation got kind of weird, like, and then Jabari said it was something like, "Oh, I see you got ills and 12 on the jet," and it became like an inside joke because Rocky hasn't hit them, and it just became an inside joke, kind of. So then Rocky's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I got my niggas with me, boom, 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 whatever." And then instantly after that, he says, "Fuck that nigga RELLI." And I'm like, I'm sitting in the back of the chair, and I kind of get up, and I'm like, and then Barbie like stops me. He's like, and then I'm listening, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't fuck with." Can I say what I want to say?
Yes.
Say it.
So he pretty much was like, "Oh, I don't fuck with that nigga. He mad emotional, like this, that, and the third." Pretty much. It was so long ago, but it was, and the contents of that. And then Jabari was like, "What you mean you don't fuck with him?" And he's like, "I just don't fuck with him. I don't like that nigga, like this, that, and the third." And after he said something about like, it's so long ago, but he was like, I beat him up or something like that. So, you want to keep going?
Let me stop you. You said that you keep saying he said. Were those all things that the defendant said specifically?
Yeah,
So he was the one that said he doesn't fuck with you, correct?
yeah.
Had you said anything at that point in the car that would have alerted him to the fact that you were actually in the car?
No, he didn't know I was there.
Did
I wanted
Jabari,
to say something, but Barry was like kind of put his hand to the side to like my leg, you know what I mean? And I was just listening.
I'm assuming then that Jabari didn't tell him, I'm in the car with.
Oh no.
Okay, so as far as you knew, the defendant had no idea that you were in the car.
No, he had no idea.
Other than the specific things that you already said about you, is there anything else that you can recall that the defendant said about you on that call?
Not at the moment. It was like 3 years ago. So like, I got anxiety. I got anxiety right now. So it's like,
In the past, have you said that on that call the defendant said, referring to you, he's a bitch? Newman, on November 5th of 2021, were you aware of tension between you and the defendant? At the point that the defendant is saying those things about you on the phone, were you also feeling tension in your relationship with him?
I mean, it's kind of always been like that. Towards, it's really hard having a relationship with Rocky.
Can you explain that?
I mean, you want to tell me my personal experience, or
Yes.
I feel like he's fake.
How so?
He lies a lot. Like, I don't see him, so it's like, how are we gonna have a relationship? You know what I mean?
Is there anything specific that you can think of?
Yeah, with like my companies or just anything, like overall. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had this one job I call him Mr. 6 month man, because I was seeing him every 6 months. You know what I mean? But then when you come around, it's like, it's fake. You know what I mean? Like, what are we supposed to be in this ASAP thing for? It's all smoke and mirrors.
Did you actually voice your displeasure
Oh,
to
yeah.
him?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Through text messages, but nothing ever like threatening him or anything, just mostly telling him like, you gotta tighten up, this shit fake.
But you would text message him and say,
And he won't text me back. He would never text me back.
okay.
I'll probably see him, we'll have a conversation, he'll be like, he'll laugh, like, oh bro, you emotional or something like that. An intense like, you know, shit like that.
When he calls you emotional, you heard that as an insult to you, correct?
Not really.
Okay, how did you take it?
Like he's trying to shoot me off. Like using that as like leverage to be like, not get business done, I guess.
All right, I want to direct your attention to the very next day, so November 6th, 2021, the day that this incident. Where were you staying at that night in Los Angeles?
Staying at the Lowe's Hotel in Hollywood.
And that evening, did you have any plans to meet up with the defendant at all?
No, I haven't spoken to him in months, probably prior to that. I texted him, but he never answered me back.
You mentioned in your earlier answer that there was this event called Complex Conference going on that weekend, correct?
Yes.
And I believe you said the defendant was actually performing at that concert series, correct?
Yeah.
Did you have plans to go with the defendant to Complex Con?
No. I wasn't on that jet. I didn't get no phone call, so why would I, you know what I mean?
So that's, I guess, what I'm asking you to explain. As far as Complex Con, you had no plans to go there, and certainly not to go with him, correct? Did you have plans to go with Hills or with 12?
No.
What was your business in Los Angeles at that time?
Working with my artists.
And if you can recall, what are the hours that you're working with your artists?
Oh, I booked pretty much all day sessions. We was finishing up a mixtape for, I believe one of these labels wanted me to like show them like something like better than, because I had a couple songs, so they just wanted to see like a compilation of the work that I'm doing.
Okay. How long? You're saying hours. How many hours would these sessions be?
I don't know, I would be in and out. I would never stay in the studio that long.
Okay.
I was looking for the artist.
At around 9:23 that evening, did you receive a series of calls and text messages from the defendant, Hills, and 12B?
Oh yeah.
At the time that you were receiving those communications, what were you doing?
I was sleeping.
Mark my next exhibit, Your Honor. Well, it is a single photograph, a screenshot of a
call out.
You want to do it?
No. Let me see. Oh, right.
Yeah. I'm gonna show it to you. You recognize what you see here?
Yeah.
And what is this?
It's my whole house.
And is this the photograph that you specifically took? Like a screenshot?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is reflected in your column here?
What do you mean?
Okay, all these numbers are in red. Does that mean anything to you?
Miss Cole?
And who were the people that you were missing calls from? Starting at the top.
Rocky. That's a larger number. That's 12B, 12B. Elijah, Rocky.
Okay. And did you receive those missed calls kind of in quick succession? Meaning like right after each other?
I don't know. I woke up to a FaceTime call from Rocky. So then after I noticed I had all those missed calls, I didn't even like wake up and notice the calls.
Prior to you waking up, did you receive any text messages from the defendant?
Yeah.
So you say you received a bunch of missed calls while you were asleep. You woke up, you answered your phone, talked to him, and then you kind of went back and looked at your phone afterwards. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Yes.
And that's when you saw you had a bunch of missed calls from him, and Elijah at 12. You also have text messages from him.
Yeah.
We mark my next turn as 13. Finding approach equals 13 now. This, you recognize what you see here?
Yeah.
And just in general, what is this photograph?
This is a screenshot.
Of your phone?
I mean, Rocky's
You say
text
yes?
message. Yes.
And is this screenshots, text messages that you received from him that day?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
said yes?
Yes.
Sorry. Every time you say that, or he's gonna
This
ask.
is
Yeah, but if you can, try to say yes or no.
yes.
So there are 3 messages at the top that are in gray. Are those from you or are those from the defendant?
That's from Rocky.
And if you would read them one after another, what do they say?
Where you at? Question mark. Let's get to it. Stop ducking my calls.
Okay. Thank you. When he texted you, specifically the phrase "let's get to it," did you know what he was referring to?
I mean, I had kind of an idea that he wanted to probably fight or something, or just argue or something. I don't know.
What gave you that idea?
The day before his conversation.
So you still have that conversation that he had with Jabari in your head at the time you read that text message?
Yeah, that conversation spoke volumes because I never heard him talk like that. And over the whole, 3 years I know him, I told him a bunch of times, if you ever had a problem with me, let me know. Because shit's not adding up.
Okay. When you said that you thought he wanted to fight you, what do you specifically mean by that voice? Like,
Like, what do you mean by that?
do you mean physical violence? Do you mean an argument? What do you
Yeah, like an argument, maybe like a physical, I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking.
Did, at that point, were you wanting to have a physical fight with him?
No.
Those text messages that you read from him, when you read those, did you perceive those to be aggressive towards you?
Yeah.
Now, you said also when you woke up, you talked to him on FaceTime, correct?
Yeah.
What was your conversation with him about?
He was just more so like, okay, so he was like, where you at? And I'm like, huh? And then he's like, where are you? Like, kind of like broke it down. And I'm like, instantly, I don't know, for some reason, I just told him the W. You know what I mean? And then he's like, no, you're not. That's a bum ass hotel. So I'm like, and then he's like, show me where you at. So then I got up to bed and I kind of, the Lowe's Hotel is on Hollywood. The W is in Hollywood. So it kind of, everything kind of looked the same. So when I showed him outside, I think that was good enough to the point he believed I was at the W.
Okay. When you said you received this call, were you fully awake even when you started talking to him?
No, I was still asleep kind of.
And you said he first asked you where are you at, and you said, I think you said
Yeah, I said,
and then you said he broke it down where you at.
no, where are you? Like, where you at? Where are you? Like, kind of like with force the second time. Like,
Okay, that was my question. What was his tone of voice when he said where are you?
okay, so the first one was like kind of regular. After I said or whatever, the second one was just like, with, like, you know, it was a problem. Like, where are you? Like, where you at? Like, you know what I mean?
And you said that after you told him you were staying at the W, he called your room a bum ass room.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
I guess it's, it didn't look like the W.
Like not as nice.
Um,
How did you receive it?
Yeah, pretty. Like, I was still sleeping. I didn't care. I just wanted to show him outside the window to figure out what the hell is going on. You know what I mean? We're gonna link up. Like, what's going on? What's the purpose of this call?
At the moment you're talking to him, did you have any idea why you wanted to meet up with him?
No.
Okay, you said you showed him Hollywood Boulevard outside of your hotel. What was the next thing that happened in your phone call after that?
I think he said he'd be right there. And then that's when I text Elijah, like, because then I'm looking at my phone and I'm noticing I got all these text messages. And like I said, Jamel, text me too and call me if I don't know shit up like that. So I like ills. I know ills, you know what I mean? So text ills. I'm like, what's going on? Pretty much.
Hold on.
I don't remember exactly what I said from that day because it was 3 years ago, but I hit ills to like kind of confirm like what's going on.
Yeah, and that's fine. At that point, did you know that 12 feet and Hills were with the defendant?
What do you mean? Like,
Did you know that
Come in.
them work together?
like come to link me?
No, I mean in general. That
Oh yeah, because it was on the plane.
Okay. And so when you received the messages from Hills and from 12 feet, you understood at that time that they were with the defendant, correct?
Yeah.
After your conversation let me clarify that, when you say you're on FaceTime, was that FaceTime that also had video associated with it?
Yes.
So he could see you through the phone, correct?
Yes.
After your conversation with him, did the two of you make plans to meet up?
I mean, I didn't really make plans. It just kind of like link up. And I wanted to, though we just gonna talk and like really hash things out. Because this happened before, not like this, but like where we talk shit out, you know what I mean? And like I said, I call him Mr. 6 months and I haven't seen him in a very long time. So maybe he hasn't read the room, you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah.
You said in the past when you had problems with him, you felt comfortable just expressing that to him verbally and talking, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And was that sort of something that had happened on multiple occasions where the two of you would talk and work out your problems verbally?
But then I'm gonna ask the meeting, he could help a little bit, please, we have that question.
Your Honor, we can.
Can you say that again, please?
Was that something that had happened multiple times when the two of you would talk and work out your problems, or was that something that only happened once before?
I mean, if we worked out our problems, we wouldn't be here. So this was an ongoing thing, just like open and entering, you know, like promises or anything, you know what I mean? But I didn't care really. I was always working towards my goals at the end of the day, what I wanted to accomplish out of the situation.
I guess what I'm trying to listen or ask you about is, have you had problems in your relationship with the defendant prior to this?
I'm gonna say problem. I don't know. Me personally, I never had a problem with him, but I think he had a problem with me.
Okay. You say, I think the words that you used to describe what
No,
you
I
were-
actually do know he had a problem with me because in the text message, he says that I got cut, like I let him get cut. And that happened a year something. So that means you're holding on a grudge and something I didn't even had nothing to do with.
Okay, we'll get there. Hold on.
I feel like that was our whole relationship, like just weird grudges. Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Are you saying that you felt like he had a problem with you and you didn't have a problem with him? Is
Yeah,
that,
no, of course I had a problem with him.
but you had sent him messages in the past where you had expressed, you know, your disappointment in him. You already said that, right?
Yeah.
So there
I
was
think we have
some,
those text messages. The text messages, I always still like, how you say it, like complimenting him or big him up for his success. At the same time, like you're doing bad.
okay.
But then the same text messages, like I never was like just straight out like, oh fuck you. I never said fuck you. I probably did, but it was like real wishy-washy in the sense like love, like I don't know, some, you know. But I never really got responses back from it.
I'm trying to understand, if you can, what your state of mind is as you're going to this meeting with him, or as you said, to link up.
My state of mind,
Yes.
I was feeling real confident because, like I said, I don't think he read the room. I'm doing really good for myself. So I felt like this is a time for me and him to like actually come to common grounds and be like, fuck the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because what are we doing here? Like you talk to everybody else like that. You're not talking to me like that. Nor am I accepting none of this. You know what I mean?
When you say read the room, what do you mean by that phrase?
Because why would you do what you did if you're not under? Say read the room is just because like you're not reading the room, like you're not knowing who you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking you could just. He knows of me, but he didn't know what I was up to. So you're probably thinking I'm a bum or I'm not like this person, somebody you could just have your way with.
Did you feel personally like your music career was becoming more successful?
Yeah, for sure. I was going in and out of label meetings.
Would you say at that point that was essentially the height of your career in the music business? Have you been more successful? Okay.
Yeah. In the music industry, yeah. Yeah, I was at my highest I ever been because I finally figured it out. I figured out how to make money back into everything. So I made my own way.
Sorry, and I don't mean to talk over you. My apologies for that. You said that going into this meeting, you were confident. Is that what you mean by?
It wasn't even a meeting. I wouldn't even call it a meeting. It was just like I'm linking up with Rocky.
What
I
does
haven't
that
seen
mean?
it do it done wrong.
Yeah.
Like anytime you want, like you're gonna go link him. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't see the dude.
What does that phrase "link with him" mean to you? Are you saying something less, like more informal than?
Like if,
Yeah.
for instance, if we had a problem, I felt like it could have been hashed out the moment he seen me, but instead it was like it got nasty. You know what I mean? Like he didn't read the room. He didn't take a second to think.
Where is it specifically that you ultimately linked up with?
Well, when I was walking from Lowe's, because it's kind of far away, I was texting Elijah, and then I told him I'm like next to Trader Joe's or something because I know the area of the W. So then when I don't really know the streets, so the top of the W that I just, instead of being on the side of W, I cross the street for some reason. And then I see Rocky walking, well I don't see him yet. I'm walking down the block, then I hear him. I hear him first before I even see him. He has a hoodie on.
Okay. Is there any kind of landmark in the area that where you ultimately linked up with?
What do you mean?
Meaning, you're saying I don't remember what the streets were called. That's okay, but was there something on the street where you met him that you could say we were outside of this?
Oh, it was directly across from the entrance way of the W. Like, there's a parking lot, like right, like where we stopped at. Kind of.
I'm gonna mark my next exhibit, Your Honor.
14.
Mr. F, I'm showing you equals 14. Do you recognize what you see there?
Yeah.
And do you see the entrance of the parking lot that you were talking about?
Yeah, so I was walking like right here.
There's a pointer, you see a wooden pointer anywhere?
So I was walking on this block, coming straight here, and then he was like somewhere right here, and then I heard him. You want me to check what out?
Well, I'm just asking, do you recognize this area?
Oh yeah.
And is that specifically the parking lot that you met him in front of?
Yeah.
All right. You said you don't know the streets in that area very well, but did you know where Hollywood Boulevard was?
Yeah.
And were you at all close to Hollywood Boulevard?
Yes, the main like strip, I believe.
Would that have been like directly above where you
Yeah,
met him?
above.
All right, I'm going to show you number 2, where Hollywood Boulevard is labeled here at the top. You see that?
You see what now?
Is the screen in front of you working? Just so you don't have to turn around.
No, it's not.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Along the top of this page, I know there's a lot going on here, but you see, can you recognize this to be Hollywood Boulevard at the top?
I'm not from LA, so
Okay.
I wouldn't open it really, but that's how we would already.
Let's go to Eagles Exhibit 2. This is clearly marked there.
Oh
Hollywood
yeah,
Boulevard.
yo.
Sorry, People's One. Thank you, Joe. The street that you came down was next to the W Hotel, correct? I know it's not marked on here, but
Yeah, it was the hotel.
Did you come down the street that was right next to the W Hotel?
Yes,
And you came from Hollywood Boulevard down the street?
yeah. Cause I traveled from the Lowe's, so I took up Hollywood Boulevard.
Did you walk pretty much Hollywood Boulevard the entire way?
Yeah.
And you said then at the W, then you turned and came down the street next to the.
Yeah, Argyle.
Okay. If you don't remember the name of the street, that's fine. Just you can tell us by the landmarks. But what you're saying is you came Hollywood Boulevard to the W, and then you turned down a small street that was next to the W.
Is that yes?
Yes.
And I believe you said in your prior answer that the street that you were on had the entrance to the valet area of the W, correct?
No, I wasn't on the side of the W.
No, I'm saying that street is where you would enter the W Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And, but you said you were specifically on the other side of the street from the W.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to the parking garage. You described it before on People's 14, coming this way, so from the lower left-hand corner towards the top right-hand corner of the page in that direction on the sidewalk, correct?
Yes.
So would the W have been on the opposite side of the street?
Yeah, right inside.
And as you were walking down that street, what was the next thing that you remembered that caught your attention?
I didn't see nobody. I heard Rocky though. I heard him say, "What now, pussy?" But it's been so long, so what now, pussy, or what now? Something along that. Like he was like, "What now?"
And what was his tone of voice?
Oh, he was loud. Like that's what caught my attention. And then I seen Elijah first, and then Jamel, and then that's when I'm walking. Like, cause I was continuing walking. I wasn't like stopping or waiting around anywhere. I was already walking. They was already there. So
Where?
I guess they was already on Argyle because they was calling me still. Elijah was calling me to see where I'm at. Mind you, I was far. That hotel was far. So when I got there, I'm walking down the block. I wasn't like waiting, holding them like anything. I'm still en route pretty much. So I hear him as I'm en route still. And then that's when we meet up and then we see the altercation.
But you're saying the first thing that caught your attention was his voice, correct?
Yeah.
Saying, "What now, pussy?"
Yeah, when I put
And it was loud.
Yeah,
Was it aggressive?
yeah.
Okay, after that, hearing that, did you see him?
Yeah, truthfully, it was all like a movie. It was like literally
How
like
so?
a movie.
Explain that.
Just the way he was walking, the whole thing, like the hoodie, like it would just caught me off guard. You know what I mean? Like it was no time to talk, no time for nothing.
Right. These people don't know what you're talking about with the hoodie, though. Can you explain what you mean when you say with the hoodie?
Oh, because he had a hoodie on.
Up over his head?
Yeah.
Okay. And was he walking straight towards you?
Yeah.
You said Hills and 12 were with him. How close were they to him?
Oh, it was right behind him.
Were they facing you too?
My eyes was on Rocky at that point. Like when he said, "What now, pussy?" I was like, he's right there. You know what I mean?
You're focused on him.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see in your periphery that the two other guys are
Yeah, for sure.
close.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Do you know why I keep saying that?
No.
Right, see this lady right here, she's a word reporter, and she's taking down every word that
No,
everybody's.
I'm like really nervous.
No,
So I'm like, you know what I
it's
mean?
okay, a lot of people get nervous right there. I don't want you to think I'm messing with you when I say is that yes or no. She has to take down every word that everybody says, and when you say or it's not clear what you mean. So that's why I'm saying yes or no. It's so the court reporters.
Like a bracelet.
What?
Like a bracelet.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. As best you can, if you can take yourself back to that moment. As you're walking up towards him, were you expecting to get in a physical fight with him?
mean, at that moment, the way, before then, no, I thought maybe we was gonna talk. Or even when he did bring them, I thought maybe he was bringing them to like make a statement or something to like let them think that he's like tough or something. I don't know. That's what I kind of thought like after.
No, I'm not talking about ills or 12. I'm just talking about the defendant.
Okay.
Were you approaching him of the state of mind that you were going to have a physical fight with him?
No, the whole time, to be honest, I would never fight Rocky. And that's God's honest truth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a reason to fight them. We're in an industry where you get blackballed really easy. I'm obviously on the lower end of the stick here. You get what I'm saying? So that's why in the video, you notice I'm a lefty. I pushed him away with my left. He grabbed me with two hands. If I wanted to fight him, and mind you, we're walking. If I wanted to fight him, I would have hit him with the right. You get what I'm saying? And it would have been fighting. Like, I stopped him with my left. And in the video, that's when you see Elijah, like, kind of like breaking it up after.
Before we talk about the video, and get there, I want, if there's any other way that you can explain that to the jury, what it would mean for you to get in a physical fight, specifically with the defendant, at that moment.
The only thing that would make me fight Rocky is if I'm physically like hurt, like if he punched me. Then I would consider hitting him or fighting him. But I would give him, just because who he is, like I wanted, and I think he uses that to his benefits or like whoever famous that whatever that shit is. But like I wasn't gonna fight him.
What would it mean for your career if you got in a physical fight?
Oh, it would be over.
How so?
It would be over.
Can you
Literally
explain that?
over. You don't have a career.
Was that in your head?
I'm like part of a conglomerate, like a group. So if I fight Rocky and I beat him up, or if we fight or something, I'm already not liked, and people don't like me and shit like that. So I'm fighting him. I'm definitely getting blackballed, and all the labels like him and work with him and do this. You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to swither my way in. You know what I mean? So if that comes to like life that we fought or something like that, I'm pretty sure it won't go good. Like nobody would do business with me or other things like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. I want to ask you just about a couple of things you just said in your answer. You mentioned ASAP in that. Was the defendant kind of the most successful member of ASAP at that point?
Oh yeah, for sure.
By far?
By far.
Would he have been kind of the leader of ASAP, even if not formally? Would he
I wouldn't call him a leader, but
You both can't talk at the same time. Hold on. Ask the question again.
Would other members of ASAP kind of turn to him when they have projects or things like that?
not too many people. It wasn't real motion. Like then, it was pretty much whatever Rocky got going on. Like people would try things, but it kind of got to like what Rocky's doing, or like stuff like that.
Okay. I mean, what I hear is you're saying he was like really the only highly successful member of this.
No, because then you got Jabari that creeped through the doors, through his video on, you know what I mean? You got Ferg who did music, but everybody else, good luck.
Okay.
And I mean, good
Including
luck.
yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I was definitely down and out.
Mr. President, let's take a break now.
Okay.
Folks, we'll take 15 minutes. Please be outside the courtroom doors at 3:15, at which time we will resume. And please don't discuss the case amongst yourself or anybody else.
Big not this way. Okay. Yeah. Mr. Efron, I had asked you before how you traveled to Los Angeles. You said you took a commercial Delta flight, correct?
Yeah.
Did you bring any
Yeah.
weapons with you when you took that flight to Los Angeles?
No,
Specifically, did you bring a handgun with you?
no.
All right, right before we broke, you were talking about what it would mean for your career, or as you understood what it would mean for your career if you got into a physical fight or physically attacked the defendant. And you talked about ASAP already, but in your earlier answer, you said there would also be a consequence with record labels. Is that correct?
Yes.
What, can you explain that just in more detail for the jury so they understand what we're talking about?
I mean, I wouldn't know if it would be direct consequences, like, but I'm pretty sure it would be out there that we fought and people would just pick sides, like right now. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he's famous, I'm nobody, pretty much.
Did you have you had meetings with record labels before this incident?
Oh, yeah.
And since this incident, have you continued to have meetings with record labels?
No, the moment the moment it became public, everything changed.
How so?
I mean, like everything changed. Like people knew it was me that pressed charges against Rocky. So everybody looked at me like I'm doing wrong for pressing charges.
And did some of the deals that you had set up, did those go away?
Oh yeah, I had to like pretty much vacate my label and everything because my artists, they no longer wanted to work with me because of the decisions I chose to make. So yeah.
So not only the record labels that you were meeting with, but also the artists who you were managing no longer wanted to work with you.
Yeah, because they felt like many different reasons, but one, they felt like I don't have no credibility no more. One, and two, I'm getting labeled as, I guess, a snitch or something like that, you know?
Okay. Now, those are real consequences that have happened to you since this incident. But did you have in your mind before you met with him at the parking lot that something like that would happen if you got into a physical fight with him?
Wait, say that again?
Yeah, did you know going into this incident that if you got into a physical fight, that it would likely be the end of your music career?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to fight Rocky.
as you were walking to the street where you ultimately linked up with him, did you have any weapons?
No,
Did you have any handguns with you?
no,
Did you have any knives, folding knives, anything like that?
nothing of the sort.
I'm gonna mark your next exhibit.
15.
And equals 15 is an external hard drive or what they call thumb drive. Containing surveillance data. Terraria. There is on one of the surveillance videos, but it's not spoken word.
Noise.
Yeah, it's. Sir, I'm going to direct you to the screen.
Put it on here so I don't have to like.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Okay, and Your Honor, just so the record is clear, we mark this as cache 15?
The thumb drive?
Yes.
15.
On equals 15, it's the file that I'm playing is labeled sequence surveillance video. All right, Mr. Efron, I'm going to play just a few seconds of this video, then I'll ask you some questions. And I'm stopping that. It's that number is really small to read. It's at 30 seconds on the video player. Did you recognize the what was captured on that video in those 30 seconds? Did you recognize what we saw there?
Yeah.
And did you specifically recognize that to be the first incident that happened when you first linked up with the defendant?
Yes.
Did you recognize yourself in that video?
Yes.
Play it again from the beginning, and I'll stop it. Okay. I think I stopped it at 6 seconds, if I can read that from here. The first person that we saw walking down the sidewalk on the screen, who was that?
Wait, the person
Play
that
it again?
I seen?
Yes.
Yeah, that was right.
No, the first person that we saw coming down.
Oh, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll play it forward a little bit from here. And pause it at 11 seconds on the video. Now, the second person that we see in the screen looks like they're, physically right in front of you. Who is that?
That's right.
And when you first approached him, can you describe what happened in your own words? Whether we saw it in the video or not, just in your own words, describe what happened.
So when he came up to me, like from the video from what I can see, it doesn't say instructor all over. It was like 2 years ago. For another video, but I was stopping a little. I could see I was stopping a little. And like I said, I'm lefty. I'm righty. I stopped him with my left, trying to like back him up. You know what I mean? And then
Let me stop you for 1 second. That interaction that we see, would that have been right after he said, I don't remember what your exact words were, but
what's up now, pussy?
what's up now, pussy?
Probably like 10 seconds later, he was still walking.
Okay. And could you see his face as he was walking towards you?
Yeah.
How did he look?
Oh, angry.
So could you tell as he was approaching you that you were headed for a physical confrontation with him?
His hands wasn't up. It was more so walking. So then when we got to each other, he initiated him, like trying to like grab me or try to like grab me by my collar. That's why you see like that, and I like grabbed him off. You know what I mean?
So as best you can remember it, he was the first one who grabbed you by the collar,
Then he grabbed me by my collar.
and then you raised which of your hands to
My left.
your left hand to separate from him.
Yeah.
Okay. And as he grabbed the collar of your sweatshirt, what did he do?
I think he's just trying to tug at me and like talking and going back and forth. And then Elijah, everything happens so fast. And Elijah gets in the middle.
Okay. When you say he's talking at you, do you remember anything that he said?
Like I said, it was 3 years ago. I would have to see what I said before I say something that I don't like vaguely remember.
That's fair. But so as you sit here right now, today, 3 years later, you don't specifically remember the words he said. Is that what you're saying?
Not the words so much, except for like towards the ending when the gun came out. I remember that. I remember the words that came out when the gun came out.
As best we can, I'd like to go through it step by step. So when he first approaches you, you're saying he's saying words, but you can't remember the words.
I don't remember.
Do you remember the tone that he had said these words with?
Oh, at that point, like, we pretty much damn near fighting. Like, he's saying what he's trying to get, I don't know.
Did he sound angry to you?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Were you saying anything back to him?
Yeah,
Do you,
I don't remember.
you don't remember your words. Do you remember your tone?
I was angry because he touched me. I was just like, the fuck off me, or probably like. But then, mind you, the gun came out seconds later, so then my tone got really angry after. Because, what the fuck you got a gun for? And that's what I said.
Okay, Okay, so you kind of move forward. You remember being angry because he's tugging at your sweatshirt. Then he had a gun in his hand. Did you see where the gun came from?
Came from his waistline.
Okay, so
Came from his waistline.
This might be clear to everybody except me, but can you have Mr. Efron identify on the screen?
yes, please.
I'm the one on the right, and it's around here with the black hoodie.
For the record, he's holding on the left side. Yeah, sweatshirt with some type of graphic on it.
Yeah.
Here I have some photographs of his clothing. I have three photographs. Can I just staple them and collectively mark them with these 16?
16A through C.
Okay. I'm going to show you 16A. Do you recognize what you see there?
Yeah, that's my hoodie.
Is that the same hoodie that you were wearing that day?
Yes, it is.
And is that the back of the hoodie?
Yes.
And then 16B, do you recognize that?
Yes, in front of my hoodie.
Same one you were wearing that day?
Yes.
And then 16C,
Yes, my sweatpants.
same one you were wearing that day?
Yes.
Okay. So your sweatshirt or hoodie had that graphic on the back,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Let's go back to the video. If I can remember where we left off. So you, oh, yes, I did video. It's wrong, my video. So you're saying that you were upset that he grabbed you by the collar, but then he produced a gun with his from his waistband, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember which hand he was holding the gun in, his left or his right?
Probably is right.
Do you remember? Or?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, you just remember he had a gun in his hand.
I just remember we had a gun in two.
Did you? And I don't mean the incident that you saw it, but throughout this incident, could you see the gun clearly?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you know the difference between a semi-automatic pistol and a revolver?
Yes.
What is the difference between those two to you?
One of them have a clip and the other one you just load up bullets.
Do you, if I told you that a revolver had a wheel,
Right.
does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And the gun that you saw him with, was it a semi-automatic, as you say, with a clip, or was it a revolver that has a wheel?
It's a semi-automatic with a clip.
Okay. Do you remember what color it was?
Black.
And do you remember anything else about it?
No.
Have you ever seen that gun before?
No.
Did you know the defendant to carry guns regularly?
Not really. I think one time he said I seen like on his wallet he had like a firearms in New York one time or something like that, but I don't remember ever seeing like or knowing like physically knowing.
Okay. I mean, like, did you personally see him with a gun on occasions before this?
No, he has a lot of security.
Okay. Did you, if someone said that the defendant was known to carry a prop gun or fake guns, would that have been knowledge that you personally had?
No, he don't carry fake guns. You don't prop guns?
Yes.
No,
You never knew him to carry a prop. did you ever know him to have any guns? And I don't mean, now I want to kind of broaden it, so not that he would carry in public, but guns that he would have either at his house or anywhere else.
Not to my knowledge. I never physically seen any guns on Rocky.
Okay. Except for,
At night.
that day when
Yeah, that night.
okay. Now, from what we see on the video, the two of you move off screen, off the video. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
And when the two of you move off of the screen, is that where he first pulled the gun out of his waistband?
Yeah.
What was the first thing that you saw him do with the gun?
Oh, he pointed at me, and then that's when Elijah was like in between, and he's like, "I'll kill you right now, pussy," or like whatever, like just was. And then I'm right behind Elijah, and I'm saying, "If you brought a gun, use it then." Like, the fuck you brought a gun for, pussy? That's the words I was saying to him.
When you said he pointed it at you, where on your body was it pointing?
Like towards my stomach, like towards like my headish a little, like everything was happening so fast, you know what I mean?
And from what you're describing, was it moving?
Yeah, it was moving, he had it up.
Okay, so he didn't just hold it at your stomach, it was kind of.
No, he was looking for a spot to shoot.
Okay,
Like if Elijah wasn't there, I don't know what would have happened.
and you said as he was pointing it at you, what did he say?
I'll kill you right now.
And was that in an angry tone?
Yeah, he was livid.
Was his voice elevated? Like, was he yelling this at you, or was this something he was saying quiet?
Yeah, because we was yelling back and forth at this point.
All right. And you said that after he pointed the gun at you, you became angry, correct?
Yeah, I became furious.
So what did you say back to him?
I told him to use it.
Why
Not
did
because mentally, like, I couldn't believe he just pulled the gun out on me. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you better use that shit. The fuck you got a gun for?
Can you explain, I want, as best you can to the jury, explain to them what you mean by, I can't believe you just pulled the gun on. What do you mean by that?
Like, I physically cannot believe there was a gun in my face. Like, that was the breaking point for me. Because like what I said, I told this kid numerous times, if you have a problem with me, let me know. You know what I mean? I feel like this got to the max. Like, this was like no return. So, if I was willing to die for my respect at this point, I don't care. You get what I'm saying? Like, if this is what you want to do, I still have my dignity. That's how I felt.
You're saying, I can't believe he did this to me though. Did you ever think that he would actually shoot you?
At that point, I don't know. Like I said, I was just so mad. I seen the gun. I didn't care.
And so when you told him something to the effect of to shoot you, I mean, did you have a death wish at that moment? Did you want him to actually shoot you?
Oh, of course not.
So why did you say that to him?
Because I was just so mad. I seen this man just pull a gun out. You know what I mean? Like, I was furious. Like, what the fuck is a gun? What are you doing with a gun?
Were you mad because specifically it was the defendant? Or do you think you would have also been mad had this been, say, just a stranger?
What do you mean?
So if a stranger had pulled a gun on you the same way that he did, how do you think you would feel?
Oh, I would try to run. Or try to, like, if a regular person pulled a gun out on me,
Yes.
I'd probably be dead. I don't know. I'd probably run, probably get shot.
Do you think you'd respond the same way and said, shoot me?
No. Stranger? No.
Do you think you'd be scared in that scenario?
The only reason why I said that is because I know Rocky. I know him. You know what I mean? So I felt at the moment that was the right thing to do. Especially, it goes back to Mr. 6 Month Man. I'm not going to let you feel like you come around and do what the fuck you want. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not about to pull a gun out on me. It's not happening. I mean, you already did, but I'm going to let you know in front of your two little minions you brought with you that, because I'm pretty sure they would have ran back to this crib and told everybody else, oh, I just pulled another gun on RELLI or did this. Like, no. If they're going to go back to his house, they're going to say, RELLI stood up for himself. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes, thank you. So I believe you said that Ills was the one who got between you, correct?
Say what now?
Ills was the one that got between you and the defendant.
Yeah, yes.
Let me play this forward a little bit more. And I'm gonna pause it here, I think we're at 14 seconds. That person that we see in the blue jacket, who's that?
That's it.
All right, and what is Ills doing at this point in the video?
He's breaking up, he's trying to de-escalate the situation.
Physically get between the
Yeah, physically, yeah.
All right, I'll play it forward. Now, I can go back if you need me to. I can pause it at 23 seconds on this video. The very bottom left-hand corner, we saw someone with a red kind of jacket. Do you agree with that?
Yes,
Who was that?
that's Jamal 12.
Okay. What, if you remember, what was 12 doing during this interaction?
He was off to the side the whole time. He was not trying to like, everything happened so fast, like from what I can remember, he was just like looking. It was, that's why I said, like, even after everything, like, I don't care if he was on talk, I still love the kid because he put himself in between everything, you know what I mean? Now 12, he was off on the side. He was just looking, like, and then when I guess he seen the ills intervene, that's when he kind of intervened, but I don't think he would have did anything.
Okay. Is it fair to say that when you're having this interaction with the defendant, you're focusing much more attention on him?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very far less so than whatever 12 is doing. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll just kind of play it through here. And I'll stop it where this video stops. So right at the end of that video, we saw someone, a part of their body, their lower part of their body, come back into the frame. Did you recognize who that was? I can go back if you need me to. Just a few seconds. Okay, great, let's stop it right there. That is at 25 seconds on the video player there. That person that we can see, just the lower half of their body, who's that?
That's right.
Okay, and can you see the gun in his hand there?
Yeah.
That's the same gun you pointed at me.
Yeah.
What did he do with the gun after Bill separated the two of you?
He put it back away, but I think from what I remember that day, those people that walked by, they kind of like stopped everything because once he seen them, he kind of like, because I'm yelling, I'm literally yelling, and that was like, I feel like that was one of the ways that like I didn't get shot too, because I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. You know what I mean? I'm making a scene. You know what I mean? So once he seen like those people walk by, he put it away, and that's when he started like kind of walking away.
The people that we see walk by, they had nothing to do with.
No, that was just a couple, I believe. That was just a couple walking by. Like I briefly seen them off my peripheral.
Okay. So after he puts the gun back in his waistband, you said he walked away. Where did he go?
He was going down the same block that he came from.
Now, the landmark street that you know is Hollywood Boulevard. Was he walking towards Hollywood or?
Argyle, I guess that's Argyle down.
He's walking down Argyle.
Yeah.
But away from Hollywood Boulevard?
Yeah, away from Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay.
1 second, to check that.
Do you remember the clothing that Hills was wearing at all?
I think he had like a varsity on, and like had something like that.
The varsity, was it a blue jacket?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like a Stussy jacket, like custom one.
Before I move on from this, at the first point where the defendant is pointing the gun at you, how far away from your body was the end of the gun?
Oh, it was damn near pressed up against me. Like,
Did it actually touch you?
I don't remember everything happened so fast.
But it was, if it wasn't actually touching you, it was very
It was
close.
very close. If anything, I'm pretty sure it probably touched the That's how close it was.
Did you say to the defendant, put that fake gun away?
No.
Is that something that you would say?
No, well, why would I say put that big gun away?
Or why, does that confuse you because you don't know when to actually carry a fake gun?
It's just confusing me all around.
The incident that we see as it's captured on the surveillance video, from the time that the two of you first come to each other to the time where he puts the gun away and walks away, is that the total amount of time that this incident took?
What do you mean?
Meaning after you all walk off camera at the end of this clip, was there anything else that you remember that happened with the parking garage, or was that he just walked away?
Okay, so right after Elijah's still next to me, and I look off to the right, and I see Jamel putting like kind of kneeling down, which is 12B, ASAP 12B. I see him putting away a knife. So at this point, mentally, I'm already fucking furious, right? I see Jamel putting a knife away. So I'm like, what the fuck you got a knife for? That's exactly what I say. I see Jamel putting out, what the fuck you got a knife for? Because I'm thinking this is okay, if me and Rocky got a problem, it's a white flag situation. The other two should not be interacting. If anything, they're going to be de-escalating or breaking it up. So to my knowledge, I'm like, oh, hell no. So now I'm walking with them. And I'm literally screaming out at the top of my lungs, damn near, on how Rocky failed us and how Jamel went on tour with Rocky for about 8 or 9 years. And he's back in the projects. Not that it's his fault, but this is the type of things that occur. You know what I mean? You pull a blanket away and there's nothing there.
Okay.
And then I'm saying other things too. I'm just verbally expressing how I feel. You know what I mean? Because I know I would never see this dude again. You just pulled a gun out on me. You know what I mean? Like, I probably would have walked away if I didn't see Jamel with the knife. Because I'm still with ills, like right here, kind of. But when I seen that, I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to talk whatever the fuck I want to say.
Okay, I'm going to ask you some follow-up questions on that and break it down a little bit.
Okay.
From what you're describing, the additional interactions that you had with the parking garage were seen 12, correct? With the knife.
Oh, yeah.
But had the defendant, had Rocky walked away?
Say what?
Had Rocky walked away?
Everything was happening fast. So he was not quite far away. He was not even it's probably like a little bit from like where you at. And I'm standing right here. In 12, he's probably like, everything's so close. You know what I mean? But it was just still kind of like backing me off.
Approximating 15 feet.
Okay, so, but my point is, the video that we watched is almost exactly 30 seconds from the time you guys come together to the time you walk off camera. Is that your recollection of maybe how long that interaction at the parking garage took was 30 seconds?
With the whole incident right there,
Yes.
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Unless